Leviosa, it is time, my friends. Leviosa is here. I've had it for a few days, and now I get to tell you all about it. This is an exciting new release from João Miranda and Julio Montoro, and it had the magic world buzzing over the last couple of weeks here. And at Blackpool Magic Convention 2023, the world's biggest convention, this was the effect. People had their minds blown because of the visuals.
That's awesome.
And now it is time to give you all the details about this to find out if it's for you. So let's jump on in and give you those deets right now. All right, so the biggest question coming out the gate is, dun, 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 what is it? What is Leviosa? If you haven't seen it, Leviosa is a card trick. I know, but this is a really damn good card trick. This one allows you to have a card selected, back in the deck, and then you put the deck on the floor. And now you perform the haunted deck effect, where the deck cuts itself without you touching, and their card shoots out of the deck. You might have seen haunted deck effects, but this one gets even better. Okay, haunted deck effect checked off. Now it gets really good. You pick up their card, you square the deck, and you stand up, and you keep your hand above the deck because that deck of cards floats right up to your hands when you're done with the effect. That's right, haunted deck, mind blown, the deck floats up to your card, jaws are dropping. This is so freaking cool. I love visual card magic, and I think, personally speaking, that this is something that's gonna be really hard to follow if you wanted to do another card trick. When the whole damn deck of cards floats up, I mean, come on, how do you beat that? Okay, so now let's get into the good stuff here. Now that you know what it is, probably asking yourself, Luke, it looks great, and I agree, it does look really, really good. How practical is this? I'm very happy to let you know this is a lot more practical to do than you think. And the biggest reason why is because it's all self-contained. Everything is self-contained with this deck of cards, meaning you can literally take the deck out of the card box and perform the effect. You don't have to do any setup before, there's no external hooking up stuff, things like that. This all is self-contained within the deck of cards itself, which to me is absolutely genius. It makes it super practical for people that want to do things in walk-around situations, and we'll get more into the performing situations, but super practical for you to use. The other reason why this is incredibly practical is because once the effect is done, it resets for you. Literally, you can take the deck, put it back in the box, put the deck away, and when you want, you can perform the effect again. That to me is a nice full circle moment because again, if you're doing walk around, strolling, or any other situations where you want it to reset, you don't have time to go in the back room and do your stuff. This works in real time. Once the effect's done, you're ready to do it again. It's freaking smart, so good. So along with the reset, let's talk about the difficulty level. You know, we're kind of checking off the boxes for who this is for, and a little real talk here about how difficult this one is to do. I will let you know, this is not super advanced or hard to do. It's also not a beginner effect. There's some stuff involved with this that make it work, and I think if you're the magician, you know what I'm talking about here, a little IT. You just want to be familiar and comfortable using that. You know what I mean? It's just something that, along with that in the gimmick itself, you just want to get used to using it. So it's more of a familiarity thing than it is a difficulty thing. So just put in the time to get comfortable with it and you'll be fine. It's not super hard. It's also not beginner where the thing just works for you, but the gimmick does work for you. It's programmed, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, to run the whole system for you, but you are the one handling the stuff. So just make sure you feel comfortable with it, but that shouldn't take you long at all. And of course, who is this for? In general, who is it for? Well, I know we have a variety of people that watch our reviews, so yes, this works great for my walk-around friends, strolling events. It also would work really good for our stand-up performers or even stage friends. Now, I'll tell you why. In the strolling situations, this works really well because when it resets, like we talked before, you know? It's also got that nice visual moment. If you are doing walk-around, this is definitely gonna get the attention of other people that are looking around, because you know, it's always nice to have those visual moments that attract attention from other people watching, and this does that for you. I will say, before we get into the other performers that can use this, João does recommend performing this in indoor situations, inside. And there's probably a couple of reasons for that. The biggest reason, obviously, is lighting. and I think we know why. The second one too, if you're outside, one, you may not have the most ideal situations on the ground because the deck obviously is sliding and it probably couldn't slide on a street or a rough road or something like that. Also with weather, if it's really windy and gusty, this would really suck. So indoor situations are preferred. And of course, for our stage show or stand-up performers, those parlor situations, this one's great too. Now you have a card trick that can play to a lot of people because it's visual and everyone can see it. And let's be honest, you can't say that for a lot of card tricks, so this would work well for pretty much all of our performers out there, except for the street performers where you really only want to do stuff on the street. But yeah, this works for pretty much everybody. The other thing João does talk about with this is that once you have your situation, he recommends to do it on a floor, not on a table, and I'll tell you why. And it makes a lot of sense. There's kind of two reasons here. Number one is because the haunted deck phase happens where the deck, shoots and the card shoots out. You need that space. So if you had a table, you don't want the deck like sliding off the table and falling off. But more importantly, for me, is if you perform on the table, you only got X amount of room between your hand and the table, right? So the levitation of the deck, there's not a lot of that space. If you've got the deck on the floor and you stand up, you've got a big gap between the floor and your hand. So you get that nice visual, slow motion of the deck just coming up to your hand. You cannot miss that. So again, indoor situations are preferred and performing this on the floor seems to be the best spot to do it. So there you go. Hope that helps, but let's keep going. Let's talk about some of the specs, some of the details that go along with this. Again, this is a self-contained unit. It actually comes ready to go out of the box. I will say though, just like any electronic thing, it does say here, warning, to watch this before you start playing with it. And I would recommend that 100%. It goes without being said, when you invest in something like this, don't just open the box and start playing with it. You probably will break the thing. But however, back to the good stuff. You do receive your gimmick. You receive the gimmick. And again, it does come in blue or red. So be sure to pick your favorite color. So you get the gimmick itself, and you also receive a nice little baggie of goodies here to help make this work. So you get everything you need, along with the unit being ready to go right out of the box. I mentioned earlier the program. So the system inside of this, the brain, is programmed to make the whole sequence work for you, which is pretty freaking awesome. Literally, you just do the work in the middle and the unit itself takes care of the rest. However, because there's something like that going on, you're gonna have to charge it from time to time, right? A couple of points with that. Number one, the unit will blink to let you know it's time for some more juice, time to plug it in. The cable you need to do that is included. Pretty standard USB stuff here. You plug it into the unit. The other end goes into maybe your computer or a USB port. There are also a couple of things you can do with that program if you want to. And João does mention this is more advanced stuff because it does come again programmed already. But if you want to adjust some of maybe like the delay between when the haunted deck and the deck comes up to your hand or something like that, you can create your own program within the unit itself. So you can do that, okay? You can also adjust the motor speed. Now there are two motors rocking inside of this. You can adjust the motor speed of both at the same time or each one individually if you want. So you can get in there and do a little bit more customization if you need to. And I think one of the biggest question marks above all is what's the price on this? Because Luke, it obviously sounds like it's not just, this is not a simple thing that they made. How much is it gonna cost? $199.95, right at that $200 mark. And honestly, when you see what's going on the inside of this, and when you see what it can do, and the fact that this whole thing has got a program that runs for you and all that fun stuff, I think the price tag is very, very fair. They probably could have charged even more, truthfully, but I think the price tag is fair, but it is $200 in case you were wondering. And a couple other really quick points I want to jump in because obviously as magicians, we know what's going on here to make some of this stuff work. The instructional itself is about an hour long. Very nice close-up shots from João showing you every step of the way how all of this works. In particular, when it comes to that secret sauce that makes some of this works, some of the IT. It is a lot easier to get that rocking and rolling again than you think. I do want to say that. He goes over that in detail, gives you tools to actually help you expedite the process even more. And he goes over it in a way that's very visual and easy to understand. And truthfully, it's a lot easier to fix that specific part of it than I thought it would. So that's a nice upbeat too. when it comes to Leviosa. All right, so I've given you all the details on what it is, who it's for, where to do it, some of the guts and stuff that are inside, that make this work, and hopefully giving you all the details that you need to find out if this one is for you or not. However, if you still have some lingering questions, maybe there's some obvious ones that I missed, you can always pop them in the comments below. I do check those, and I do have the units here. I've been playing with it and watching the instructional, so I do know what's going on with it. So if I missed something, please let me know. All right, if you would like to pick up your Leviosa units in red or blue, we are very proud to have these. It's your neighborhood-friendly all things magic shop. We got the link in the description for you, so be sure to use that. And my friends, if you're looking for even more amazing magic tricks, only the best stuff though, only the best, head on over to allthingsmagic.com to get your magic fix. That's right. We are posting magic reviews just like this, the latest and only the best magic tricks for you, updated on our website almost daily, along with other content for you. So be sure to check us out over at allthingsmagic.com. Congratulations to João Miranda and Julio Montoro on creating a masterpiece here when it comes to something like this. It's never been done before, where the whole damn deck, goes up to your hand after a haunted deck. It's so smart. It's so cool. I think that's why I like it. I got really excited about it. And I know it's not going to be for everybody. You might already have your own haunted deck that you do, and you're good. But for those looking for something fun, this is definitely a whole lot of fun. And I know when you get it, you're going to be doing a whole lot of wows, because first you're going to be wow when you open it, and then you're going to be wow when you're doing it, and you're going to get the wows when you're performing it. A whole lot of wow. All right, thanks for checking us out. I will catch you in the next video right back here, but now I'm going to float on away with my Leviosa. Kick-ass job, boys. Kick-ass job. Keep up the good work, João Miranda. We love you, buddy. And you, my friends, much love to you too. Catch you next time. See ya.